This video is for the lesson 4.2 homework. We're factoring polynomials. So what we're doing is we're trying to do reverse distribute. It's kind of what we're doing, okay? So when we're factoring polynomials, the first thing you look at is there a common factor that I can factor out of this whole thing? 2. So I could divide every piece of this. So 2x squared plus 6x plus 4. I can divide each piece by 2. Okay? So what that does is that brings a 2 out to the outside. It would cancel here. 6 divided by 2 would be a 3. 4 divided by 2 would be a 2. If you would distribute, you would get back to what you started with. All right, so to factor this thing out, we are factoring by, I can't remember now which method we're using today. Oh, we're using the box method. Box method is easy. All right. So I draw a 4 square. What I'm wanting to get this broken down into is setting it up to solve a quadratic. But I want to break it down into 2 factors. Okay? So here's what we know. We know we've got x squared here, and then the last value 2 goes here. Okay? How this works is the 2 numbers that are here and here multiply together to give you this box. So what do I have to multiply together to get x squared? So we know these are going to be x's. Okay? So same thing. This times this would give me this box. This times this would give me this box. This times this would give me a 2. What are the only 2 things that I can multiply together to get a 2? 1 and 2. 1 times 2. All right. So 1 times 2 gives me 2. I have to be able to add these 2 numbers and get the middle, which is a 3. Does 1 plus 2 equal 3? For them to be factors. So x times 1 is x. X times 2 is 2x. And so here's my polynomial. X squared plus x plus 2x plus 2. And I still have that 2 outside.
That's it.
And then x plus 2x is 3x. That's just me checking my work. So how I would write this, these are my factors. So I've got the 2 on the outside, x plus 1, x plus 2. That's the answer.
So why do you?
We used to do this back last year.
So whenever you finish the box, you put like a bunch of numbers.
This just helps you figure out what pieces go where. It's what's on the outside.
Bottom equation. What's that bottom equation?
It's me going back and checking my work.
It's just like a double check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you scoot it this way? Can you shift that way? That's fine. I'm fine with that. Yes, ma'am.
So why is the 2 not on the second one? So like the 2 that you put outside?
This one?
Yeah.
It is.
No, I mean like on the second.
Here?
No. Like on the parentheses, the second set of parentheses.
Here?
No, up at the top. The finished answer. The answer?
It is.
Will that distribute out onto the other half?
Yeah, so what you would do to work backwards, you would FOIL this, and you have the 2 on the outside. So x times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 1 times x is x. 1 times 2 is 2. Combine like terms. X squared plus 3x plus 2. And then you would distribute it.
Okay, yeah.
2x squared plus 6x plus 4. And you should be able to work all the way back up to the original.
So,
Okay.
Can
Yep.
you make this like a real world problem, right?
No.
So this is you just learned this.
This is just math. This is just straight up math. All right, number 3. 3x squared minus 36 plus 105. Ooh, 36x. Is there a common factor? Has to be. What do you think it is?
Probably 3.
Probably 3. It is.
You're so smart.
All right. So the 3 goes outside the parentheses. So this cancels, and I'm left with x squared. Negative, so remember, pick up this sign. That's the number one mistake in algebra, kids, is they they drop this sign. Negative 36 divided by 3. Minus 12. And then 105 divided by 3. 35. Yes, it needs an X. I'm sorry. I keep dropping that X. Okay, so the 3's already been factored out. So I'm going to box method.
X over 2x.
Yes. So for sure what you know in the box method is the X squared is going to go here and the 35 is going to go here. What two things multiply to give you X squared?
X and X.
So you know this is X and X. All right. What two things can I multiply together to get 35?
5 and 7.
Okay. 5 times 7 gives me 35, but does 7 plus 5 give me a negative 12?
No. So it's negative. Negative and negative.
Okay, so negative 7 times negative 5, and then if I add those two together, that gives me the negative 12. So, last number is positive, middle number is negative.
Yep.
Both of your factors are negative. Okay? So minus 7. And on these, it doesn't matter which goes where because they both start with an X. We're going to do other ones that don't start with an X. That maybe start with a 2X, and then it does make a difference which one goes where. So the 3 is on the outside. We've got X minus 7 and then X minus 5. Again, if you work all the way back, you do FOIL and then you distribute the 3, you should be able to work back to your original problem. All right, 2x squared minus x minus 10. Do I have a common factor?
2.
No, because that doesn't have a...
So it's undefined.
Okay, no. All right, so we just go straight to the box method.
Oh, so you skip a step?
Yeah, if there's nothing to factor out, you just jump straight to the box. All right, here's what we know. This is going to be 2x squared. This is going to be a negative 10. All right. So to get x squared, what two things do I need to multiply to get together?
1x and 2.
Well, just for x squared, it's just an x times an x,
Oh,
right?
you're talking about the
But if I want to do a 2x squared,
Yeah, the 2x.
one of those is going to be. So I'm going to put the 2x here and the x here. Okay. What do I have to multiply together to get a negative 10?
Negative 5 and positive 2.
Okay, so if I do a negative 5 times a positive 2, here's where you just have to start playing. If you want to get my dry erase boards out, go for it. So let's just say I put a negative 5 here and I put a 2 here, positive 2. So negative 5 times x is a negative 5x. 2 times 2x is a 4x. And then here's how I check it. 4x minus 5x. Does that give me a negative x?
Yep.
Yes. If I had switched something, say I had switched this up. This is not the correct answer. This is me showing you if you put the pieces in the wrong places.
Do I put the negative 5 in?
So here would give me a 2x. 2x times a negative 5 gives me a negative 10x. Negative 10x plus 2x gives me a negative 8x. That's not what I need. I need a negative x. So you just kind of have to play around with your values until you get what you need. So one more time. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Positive 2 and 2x is 4x. If I combine, these are the two terms that have to combine to make you a negative x. Negative 5x plus 4x. Negative 5 plus 4 is a negative 1x, which is a negative x. So this one would be 2x minus 5, x plus 2. And again, if you want to work backwards and FOIL it back out, you can work forwards and then backwards to check your work.
This means you're not going to have no outside
Nope.
number.
Nope. No common factor. Okay. I'm half tempted to go ahead and show y'all slip and slide, but
Come on, let's do it. Slip slide right here.
slip and slide is tomorrow's lesson. Do you want a preview of it?
No, we don't want to slip and slide.
Honestly, I use slip and slide when I teach the college algebra kids how to do this. Because college algebra kids call me every year and go, I don't remember how to do this. Do you want it or do you want to just stick with the box method
We're
today?
doing it tomorrow anyways, right?
Yeah.
So let's just stick with one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, 4x squared minus 16x plus 15. Do I have a common factor? Nope. All right, here things get really sketchy. Because 4x squared, that could be 4x times x, or it could be 2x times 2x. It could be either. And we don't know. So this is 4x squared. We know that for sure. This is 15. What two things multiply together to get 15? But positives? So negative 3 times negative 5. Let's start off with that. So let's check 4x. Actually, I am going to get a dry erase marker and do this because I don't want to have to keep erasing. All right. Here we go. So what did we say we knew for sure? This was
3, negative 5.
4x squared.
You just said it.
And then this equals 15. There is an easier way. Give me a second. You can do, okay. I don't want to confuse you though, and that's what I'm worried about. This is a quadratic formula, right? This is an A, this is a B, this is a C. You can do A and C, like AC like this. Do 4 times 15. And then that gives me a 60. And then you can factor that 60 down. That's one other way, but let's just stick with this. All right, so we're going to start with a 4x here and an x. And then we said we've got to use negative 3 and negative 5, right?
How did we find out that was 4x and not 6?
Well, we just have to play with it. We're just going to play with it.
She's testing it out right now.
All right, so x times negative 3 is negative 3x. 4x times negative 5 is negative 20x. Negative 20 and negative 3 gives me negative 23. Not what I need. All right. So you can flip it. Negative 5, negative 3. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. 4x times negative 3 is negative 12x. Negative 12 and a negative 5. Does that give me? So that's not what I need.
So one needs to be a positive flipper and then a positive.
Well, they can't be positive.
Because it has
So what's that mean? That means 4x and x.
It's wrong.
You do have one other option here. You could do negative 1 times negative 15. Those are other factors that you could do. But all right, negative 3, negative 5. And it doesn't matter now where they go because these are the same. So 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. Negative 10x and negative 6x.
Negative 16.
And that's what I need, right? So these are my factors, 2x minus 3 and 2x minus 5. So the dry erase board does make it easier because you don't have to keep rewriting or keep erasing. All right, last one.
Can we do it with the AC squared?
You want to do the AC?
Is
Yeah,
that,
I wanna
is
see
that
that one.
easier? I feel like it looks easier.
It can be. Okay. So here's what we're going to do.
ABC.
So this is A, this is B, this is C. We're going to do A times C equals 7 times 15. Somebody multiply that for me real quick. Somebody do 7 times 15. 105. So it would be 105 x squared. The reason it's that is 7x squared times 15. You've got that x squared still stuck in there. So you have to factor 105 x squared. What? No. Well, what two things can you multiply together? So by 3,
Yeah, you
will a 3 go in there?
Yeah.
So 105 divided by 3 is what? 35? So you would have 3x and 35x, right? But they got to be negative. Last is positive, middle is negative. Oh, sorry. So negative 3x, negative 35x gives me a negative 38x. So here's what I know. I know I've got 7x squared here, and I've got 15 here. You've still got to figure out where you're going to put your pieces. 7x and an x. So one of these is going to get, one of these two spots is going to get a negative 3x. One of these two spots is going to get a negative 35x. This 7x makes the difference. Which of these numbers is divisible by 7?
35.
So it has to go there. So now you kind of work backwards. X times what gives you negative 3x?
3 times 1. I mean, negative
7 times what gives you negative 35x? That's the factoring method. I am going to go ahead, if you think you can do it with the box method and plug and chug, I'm going to go ahead and show you slip and slide.
Can we do one more example? So,
I'll work one more. Let's do the very bottom one here.
okay.
9x squared minus 9x minus 10. All right. Check. Yes. Slip and slide. You can slip and slide everything. Is there a common factor?
Yeah,
No. All right. So here's the slip. You slip the leading coefficient to the end of the trinomial. So you're going to do 9 times a negative 10. So x squared minus 9x, 9 times a negative 10 is a negative 90. That's your slip. Once you slip it, this is now a basic trinomial, and you can factor it. So you know you're going to have x and x. What two numbers multiplied together give me negative 90? 9 and 10. Anything else?
Like 3 and something. 3 and 30, yeah.
3 and 30.
5 and
All right. Here's the reason I asked that. Because if the bottom or if the back end is negative and the middle is negative, that means one of these is a positive, one of these is a negative. Okay? So 9 plus 10 doesn't give me a negative 9. If I even change it to a negative, negative 9 plus 10 doesn't give me a negative 9. 3 and 30, there's no combination of 3 and 30 that gives me a negative 9. So what else multiplies?
5 and something.
15 and 6. Okay. So let's do 6 plus negative 15. Does that give me a negative 9? So that means plus 6 minus 15. Now I'm not done yet. We slipped, but now we have to slide. You divide the constant term by the number that you slipped. We slipped a 9, so we divide these by 9. Make them a fraction. Okay? We simplify any fractions. Those don't simplify down. Simplifying means like if you get a 4 over 2 and that simplifies to a 2.
That's 2 over 3. Well, you can simplify the fraction.
Yes, okay, yes.
2 over 3.
So x plus 2 over 3. Well, this one, 15 over 9, what does that break down to?
Is it does 5 over.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I give up and
This 3, you can slip back in front of the x. You can do 3x plus 2.
Can't see.
Oh. You can slip the bottom of the fraction
3x plus 2 thirds?
back in front. You can slip the bottom of the fraction back in front. So those would be your factors. I do always tell kids to check your work when you do slip and slide because there's a lot of steps.
Yeah,
That's how I was taught.
3 over 2.
6 over 9.
Oh, it's 9.
Yeah. So if you FOIL this, 3x times 3x is 9x squared. Outside, 3x times negative 9 is negative 15x. 2 times 3x is 6x. Last, 2 times 5 is a negative 10. Combine like terms, negative 9x. And always make sure that you can work back if you do slip and slide. Slip and slide is what we're doing tomorrow. But you can use the box method as well. Either of them work. Slip and slide is usually what algebra kids, that's their fault.